Hi people, good morning from Dhaka, Bangladesh. Welcome back to my channel. Today we have a new fragrance rather in my collection. I have this for about now more than a week. I planned to review this, but for some reason I couldn't finish it, right? So this is supposedly a very good alternative of a fragrance from House of Roja Dove, which I never smelled. So this is gonna get weird because I cannot compare or say how close this is to the OG. But on its own merit, I can review it because I saw it. It was very affordable. It was like 20 something dollars. And this fragrance is from the house of Fragrance World. This is called Imperium Intense. Okay, this perfume right here. I saw this in one of the pages in Bangladesh, USB. They brought this. I haven't seen it anywhere else. If they have, please check. So this is a standard 100 ml, and this is supposedly a very good summer fragrance. I had the original, which was the Elysium. Elysium was it's very old bottle. I have like maybe 5 ml left or so. I love this fragrance. This was back in the days, people called it like maybe new niche version of Blood Chanel. I never felt that way. This one had its own charm, own citruses, own blue notes, very long lasting on me, but kind of like on the softer side on projection. This was very expensive. This whole house, the cheapest you can find is 200 something dollars, which is the Perfume cologne bottles. So this is the bottle, which is the Elysium Intense's take, not on the OG. Very nice bottle. This is called Imperium Intense, and you can see the bottle. I don't have the Elysium Intense. I do have this. They are like the bottle size and everything, and the cap pattern, everything is kind of similar, but maybe it's a little bit different. Maybe not exactly same. Okay, not exact same shape. Okay, so a little bit difference. I really like this bottle. It's given that frosted look, like icy look. And I would actually say blue and that frost thing, it kind of gave it feel like it could be a cologne or a fresh, version, but it's okay. Okay, I really like this bottle. One thing I would say, it says fragrance for at the back. One thing I would say, never pick up this bottle by the cap. See what happens? It's very like not even good grip. It doesn't click into place. So the bottle is very heavy. Cap is also heavy. I like this quality of the cap. It's kind of cool. Looks like some sort of cell, but it doesn't really stay on the atomizer. It has detailing on the atomizer. Atomizer is fantastic. Really good atomizer. I really like the way this sprays. Pressure atomizer. Let's go few more. Okay, and then go one here. So maybe just give it like a little bit more wearing, just to get a feel of it. I'm wearing actually for late night some other fragrance, but it's basically Polo Blue Puffa, but they're both blue fragrances, so no harm done. So this one will go like this. Okay, first of all, the OG, the original, the Elysium Intense. How does the smell? I have no idea, no clue, because I never smelled it, and it'd be a lie if I say I actually can compare this. This is this much similar, this much different. Okay, so the OG, like the Intense version, Elysium Intense, right? Yeah, the bottle looks kind of like this. Yeah, they sort of like took inspiration from the bottle. How do I show this without? I don't show. Yeah, like this. Okay, it's similar looking bottle. So this was release of 2023, and it had no definite. I remember the rhubarb note. It had rhubarb up top, grapefruit, lime, bergamot, a lot of citrus as the OG, artemisia, musk, lavender, thyme. Very huge notes breakdown. Then blackcurrant, fruity notes at heart, apple, orange blossom, lily of the valley, jasmine, tuberose, rose de mai, and then base notes. It's like, I mean, it's crazy how much notes they put in there, like crazy. Ah, man, it's not picking up. Okay, then the base: juniper, vetiver, musk, dry wood, galbanum, black pepper, cedar wood, violet leaves, ambergris, vanilla, labdanum, benzoin, leather, cypriol oil, or nargamota. So I'm not going to remember all that. Let me just tell you quickly what I get from this perfume. Then I will try to say if I can get some of those notes in there. Okay, so first of all, performance for a fresh fragrance. Okay, this perfume right here is very impressive, very impressive, because I did review somewhere along the line a dupe of Roja Elysium that was, I don't know if it was from this fragrance world or not, I cannot remember, but I did review a dupe. That one was not very long lasting. I just remembered that many people bought it. They said that was not very long lasting. So this is actually much betterment compared to the Elysium. So I'm guessing Elysium is not the OG, like this one was not very long lasting on people. Okay, but the Intense version, they made it stronger. Some people say it's better, some people say it's worse, but most people said the Intense version they like more because of the maturity as well as the longevity and staying power. So I'm guessing this one is a better take than the Elysium's clone. It can get confusing because I keep going back and forth, right? So on its own, it's a good performer. How many hours? Right now, it's very hot and humid, and it rains almost every day, but the humidity doesn't go away. So let's say when you go out, you'll still sweat, and then you'll feel like the sweaty and stuff. So in this kind of weather, rain and then humidity, in the middle of that, when I go for evening walks, morning walks, I put this on and I tested it. Okay, morning and evening both, but in the midday I didn't try. So when the sun is not there, this one performs really well. Just one day I wore it. I wore it one day at 3 p.m. Okay, so on average, this one performs like for a freshie, it performs like 7.5 out of 10. Okay, so how many hours is that in my book? I get more or less whiffs of it about 1.5 hour of good projection. Then it comes a little bit close. I can smell it on me, but I don't feel at that point after 2 hours, second hour, it's like really pushing it out there. Okay, so for freshie I have no complaint, and for this cheapy I will not complain. This is longer lasting than the Elysium's clone. Okay, how many sprays? I went like 6 7 sprays. Arm, hair, neck, pulse point, and then a couple on the chest on my shirt. So that gave me overall about like 4.5 hours to 5 hours. So it's in Bangladesh. If you're watching from USA, maybe you'll get more, because I noticed fragrances do last more in Europe, in USA, because your weather is cleaner, your environment is cleaner, you have less heat. Good friends who are lucky enough to live in Greece and some of the other countries, like where your weather is always cold most of the year, I would say you are just so lucky, because you can get even from this freshie about 8 hours. Okay, I can easily see this. Okay, but in general, if you live in the Asian countries, hot country, like Africa, somewhere in Malaysia, Southeast Asia, this will give you tops 4 to 5 hours in the office condition. So you need to reapply perhaps, but it will stay because the base, the base got the juniper, musk, this wood, and a little bit of a leather, like these things, and nargamota, right? Like the whatever that thing, cypriol oil. These things, I don't smell all of them, but there's different hint of like some floral, some mineral like properties that appear, which gives this fragrance a little bit more body, right? So you imagine like, okay, from the citrus, rhubarb, how does this, transform or goes to the leathery? I also don't know. Okay, I do not know, but when I smell this, it stays that rhubarb note. You can easily smell it's very, very pronounced, and it's not for everybody. So let me tell you, some people will like it, some people will not like this. Okay, even though this is a cheapie, this follows the Elysium's elder brother Intense. It has some elements of Elysium, the citrus is grapefruit, lemon, but it has also the rhubarb and then the little bit dark tone. So this is a bit earthy, okay, fruity, floral, mineral like, and then the leather. So all these things make the fragrance a little bit more complex. I think you can wear this and you will still get compliments. It's not your typical like run in the mill smell. Okay, like some people wear this in the office, like it's subtle, right? Like Versace, Purom, fragrances like those, and people may pick it up and then say, "What are you wearing? It smells nice. I haven't smelled it before." People may be interested, right? But for your personal use, some people may feel like, "Oh, this is not my kind of fragrance." It's not totally all the way freshy. It got more complexity, which I'm not liking that much. Maybe it will be a better fragrance to wear on rainy days rather than heavy, humid, and hot days. Also, you can wear this for nighttime. Also, I think the nighttime it will hold better. So this is kind of like a mixed bag of emotions for me. I like it, but I don't really love it. Okay, let's say I love the simplicity of Elysium and its dupes. The like Bulgari's Tiger. Not much to it. Woody, grapefruit, that's it. If you're a simple person like me, you would rather go for Elysium or Elysium's dupes, but this one has better performance and the price point is still the same. Fantastic price point on its own merit. You can give it a try if you are not having huge budget and you usually buy Middle Eastern perfumes, dupes or budget fragrances. This is definitely a keeper in that way. Overall, the rating is a solid 8. Okay, why solid 8, not less or more? If I could give it say 8.5, it had to be a little bit more safer. Okay, that's why I didn't give it 8.5. If I wanted to give it like 7 or 7.5, that had to be the reason. Maybe it does not last, so it lasts more than Elysium. So for me, so the performance takes it up like 0.5 above like 7.5. So it's an 8, right? Solid 8, but not saved line by worthy. It's kind of mature DNA. If you're not a big fan of rhubarb, try some fragrance like Lacoste L'Homme or CK All, and then there are other fragrances which has rhubarb. I think maybe the Terre d'Hermes EDP Intense, I don't remember exactly, but maybe Hermes's H24, that one, and then the Pafa or the EDP, those have rhubarb. So try those out. That note is very tricky. Okay, so overall, it's a great office scent for me. You can wear this for gym, but it's kind of heavy in a way that it's kind of complex. It's not very simple. You can wear this for dating scenario on summers. It makes a great white shirt fragrance. I think so, and it has class. Definitely has class, but it does not really feel super premium. Okay, in that way. So I would like to try the OG of this, and also would like to try Oceania from Roja Dove, because these fragrances, honestly speaking, are 300-400 bucks, man. Even if you want to sample those, nobody is actually buying this and decant it. If they were decanting it, maybe I would go and buy a decant. I would just say, hey, man, even if it's expensive decant, it's not going to be as much as a bottle, right? So I could explore it like that, but no one would actually buy these OGs, like Oceania, and then people who buy it, they don't decant it, right? So there is an issue. But this fragrance is good, but I just cannot say how close is it to the original. But yeah, I can pick up some of the notes from the Elysium's Intense, right? So overall, 8 out of 10. Check it out. And this fragrance, if you don't like it, you can sell it off. You will not lose out much money. It's just around 20 something bucks. Okay. So this is Imperium Intense, 8 out of 10 from House of Fragrance World. Thank you so much for watching. Let's do a list, then we'll upload it together. Take care and have a good day. Bye bye.